Welcome to the Empowered Women channel with your host, Coach Depo Lipidi. Coach Depo, a certified leadership coach and author, brings you the Word of God today. It is our hope that today's message will encourage and empower you to do great things in your life. Be blessed as you listen.
Welcome to another edition of the Empowered Woman, and it is a pleasure to be back. Last month we paused to talk about the blessed life, but we want to continue our series on health. In 3 John 2, the Bible says God desires above all things that we prosper and be in health. And as women, we go. We don't even think of taking care of ourselves. So today I have with me a very brilliant person, Dr. Funso Olarinde. She's Beauty and Brains, and she's here to talk to us a little bit about some of the things that pertain to us as women. We're calling this topic the whistle tour of general health and well-being for the modern day woman. Now, why are we talking about the modern day woman? Because we're all modern day women, right? And what tends to happen is, like I said, we go, and we don't even pause to take care of ourselves. Now, I have a cup here that says, start your day with gratefulness. This is my mushroom coffee. I usually start my day with either matcha or mushroom coffee on an empty stomach just to kickstart my day. And that's part of self-care. We want to take care of ourselves. As modern women, we are busy looking after our husbands, our children, our friends, in-laws, and a whole bunch. And then we forget ourselves. But today, Dr. Funso Olarinde is here to talk to us about the things that are important to us as women for our general health and well-being. Again, as modern day women. And before we go on, let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Funso Olarinde so that you know that she's no small person. She is a consultant physician in genitourinary and HIV medicine at the Royal Hallamshire Hospital, Sheffield, in the UK. She's also Deputy Director for Postgraduate Medical Education for the Sheffield Teaching Hospitals, NHS Foundation Trust, and Honorary Clinical Senior Lecturer. I can't even say it, Dr. Olarinde, at the University of Sheffield. See, I told you she's brilliant, she's beautiful, she's got brains, and I'm so grateful for her. She's my sister. The one thing about her, this is one of the reasons she's here, is that she believes in practicing holistic medicine, and she appreciates the fact that wellness is a journey. It's not just the absence of physical disease. Sometimes we think, oh, because I'm not sick, I'm well. Well, maybe not. She'll dive into that a little bit. Every one of us has a big role to play in the wellness journey. And she believes that the practice of medicine is all about guiding people on this journey of wellness. So today, Dr. Funso Olarinde is going to be guiding us on our journey of wellness. And I want to say welcome.
Thank you very much. It is my pleasure to be on here today.
I'm glad you made it. I know we talked about this, and finally, we're here.
Yeah.
So let's start with you telling us what we mean when we say that wellness is a journey. What do we mean? Over to you.
So saying wellness in a journey means it's something that you just keep going on. So, you know, it's not so when you talk about a journey, that means you just, you're traveling, you're going somewhere. Okay.
Right.
So when we say wellness is a journey, is that we're on that journey to wellness. And it means you can't be static. You have to keep moving. You have to keep going. So it's an active, not a passive thing.
It's active. So when you say active, what are some of the things that we should be doing to keep going on this journey? I mean, you've given us an analogy of somebody who's traveling. They have a destination. So it sounds to me like in this case, our destination is wellness. We want to be well as women, as a modern day woman. What are some of the things, we want to take a tour, like we talked about, a tour of the wellness journey, general health, well-being. Tell us some of the things that you believe as a holistic doctor we should be doing as modern day women to make sure that we don't remain static and that we continue on this journey?
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I can give you a bit of a, maybe I should start off by giving a bit of a background about why I'm quite passionate about this.
Right.
My specialty, which is the field of HIV medicine, now we've moved away from our patients being, really unwell and dying. HIV now is a chronic illness. People live long lives, and now we can confidently look somebody newly diagnosed in the eye and say that, look, your life expectancy with your HIV diagnosis is not different from that of somebody without, as long as you keep taking your treatment and you keep accessing, your services. So invariably, I've now turned into a physician who all we do is, talk to patients about all these things. So, which is why I said, you know what, we might as well just cover this here.
Yeah.
So a lot goes into us remaining well. And I think one big one, actually is diet.
Oh, wow. Diet.
Diet. And this is a conversation I have with many of my patients every single time. Because, it's like, it's a common joke between myself and a number of my female patients. But look, many times I feel all I need to do is smile at a cupcake and my waistline goes up by 3 inches. I don't even need to eat it. But the truth is, we're as good as our diets, we're as healthy as our diets. Many of the things that are being sold to us as food now, unfortunately, was never meant to be food. A lot of additives, and a lot of processing and ultra processing. So I've heard before that there's some of these burgers and things that actually, if you put it on the floor, ants will not even come near them. So meaning that they're actually not food. So if talking about diet, I think the most important thing is first and foremost us watching what we eat. So more of the natural foods, the vegetables, the fruits. Let's cut down on the carbohydrates. It's doing us a lot of harm. Cutting down on the portions could mean starting off with just using a smaller plate. I've actually gone shopping now, and I've abandoned my massive dinner plate, except of course, we've got dinner guests and we're trying to look posh. But I've come to realize that if I can just use the smaller plates, once a small plate is full, I feel like, oh my goodness, I've got a lot of food on that, and I don't eat more than that. So portion control. Unfortunately, many of our African foods are very calorie dense. And I see this in many of my Black African patients, for instance, who say, oh, doctor, but, I'm not doing anything, I'm just eating. I'm like, actually, all you need to do to put weight on is do nothing. Just eat normally. Because many of our portions, you've got the, I can talk about the Nigerian foods. You've got the eba, that much. You've got the pounded yam. You've got the potatoes and things, and then you have just a little bit amount of vegetable with it. Whereas it should be the other way around. So we can just sweep around, what we eat, swap it around to more veg, more fruits, less of the carbs. Yes, fish, chicken, turkey, white meat. Red meat, I know there's been a lot of bad press about it. And I would say, yes, try and avoid all the pork. But I think it's more the processed things like the sausages, the hot dogs. Red meat in itself has quite good amounts of iron, which helps us. So I wouldn't say cut it out of your diet completely. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
And there's also a lot about red meat and bowel cancer and things. So the important thing is not overdoing it. But the more important thing is eating more of the natural foods, the vegetables, the fruit, less carbohydrates. And then, all the fizzy drinks, not great for us. Apparently, even what we call low calorie, they're really not that great in terms of helping us. So just a little bit of changing, and I'm sure we would reap good benefits from that.
Okay, so Dr. Olarinde, first of all, thank you for saying we can eat meat, because I eat meat all day long. I love red meat, kidney. I just went shopping yesterday and I got some, I got a bunch of those. I love tripe. I know tripe isn't good for me because of cholesterol, but I take it in, small quantities. But I think the biggest thing I'm taking out of this is watch my diet. We need, as modern day women, we need to watch our diets. When we go shopping, we have a lot of things in the stores that are not conducive to our health. The hot dogs, the burgers, you know, what do you call it? Breaded chicken, those things, the nuggets, those things.
Yeah.
I was reading the other day about some of the top non-natural foods. When I say non-natural, that they have a lot of additives, and stores, I mean, restaurants were being named. So, which means even when we go out to restaurants, we need to be careful what we eat, what we choose. When I go to a restaurant, I love to eat salmon, but I've gotten tired of salmon from eating it so often. So, what more can we do? Because it can be difficult, right? Changing diet, especially once you hit your 50s, your 60s, 70s. I mean, we'll be eating this thing forever. We can start to make small changes. I get that. But besides changing our diet, what more can we do to make sure that as modern day women, excuse me, we continue on our journey to wellness? Because I mean, I want to be well. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to, I was reading a book by a book titled Speak, and she was talking about her mom being ill for a long time, and she was very quiet about it. Not that her diet was bad, who knows what happened, in between there. What more can we do as modern day women to make sure that we stay well?
I think I would say we need to move more. And on many times we actually don't realize how sedentary we are until you get, should I say, a light bulb moment.
Okay.
We were never made to be as sedentary as we are today.
Potato couch.
Many people feel that, until you go to the gym or you do this, you do that, and do all these wonderful workouts. And I don't think it's just about that. The truth is, going back to the diet thing, we also need to remember that you can never exercise off a bad diet. So, which is why I started off with the diet issue. So I think the diet, we put that, as the foundation, but also I think we all need to move more. There's overwhelming evidence that taking a 30-minute walk, if possible every day, but 5 times a week maybe, does a lot to actually help one's heart health.
Wow.
So if you move more, you're likely to burn more calories, but also your joints, they keep moving, your heart keeps pumping. Now, when we talk about exercise, I said it's not just about joining a gym and doing all the muscle building and things, but just walk around. I mean, rather than take a car, if you can walk to work, why not? If 30 minutes is nothing, actually, if you think about it. So what I tell people is try and inculcate walking into your daily routine.
Okay.
So if you can leave your car behind and do a walk, by all means do that. And just walk, just keep your legs moving, keep your limbs moving. Because the more we walk, the more our joints move, and the healthier we would be. In fact, I would say that I've invested in a Fitbit in the last year. Don't ask me. I've lived this long without one, and then suddenly realize it's actually not that difficult to achieve these things if you have a mindset. And my own thing was that I just wanted something to encourage me. When I see the steps, I'm like, oh, that's great. You can do more. And you don't need, yes, some people will say, oh, no, go and sign up for a gym. But there's lots of things available on YouTube, on Instagram, exercise videos that you can copy. Just put them on, jump in front of your TV up and down, and you'll be surprised at how much that does. And if I can just let you in on this as well, I'll tell you this one for free. Actually, moving around, exercising actually helps you release endorphins.
Right.
Endorphins they're called the happy hormones, so to say.
Right.
So they actually give you that good feeling. I can tell you also that there's also evidence that exercising reduces your blood pressure,
Oh, wow.
helps your heart health, and also would help bring down your risks of diabetes. So there's lots and lots to gain from moving, from exercising.
Exercising, but at least maybe we start with walking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So brisk walking, yeah. So get your heart rate up. Brisk walking,
brisk,
yeah.
not just leisurely walking. Brisk
Yeah, I mean,
walking.
if you want to start with the leisurely walk, just do something.
Just move. Stop sitting
Yeah.
down. Stop being
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've talked about we need to change our diet and reduce our carb intakes, and especially for the modern day woman who's busy, she needs to start, with her children, giving them good food, because what you train your child to do, the Bible says, train a child in the way they should go. When they grow up, they will not depart from it.
Yeah.
If you raise your kids on nuggets and McDonald's, when they grow up, it's going to be hard for them to get in the kitchen to cook. So we've talked about diet, we've talked about exercise. What more can we talk about? What are maybe some tests that we need to take as modern day women? What are some extra things that we should do to make sure that we keep, going at it on this wellness journey we're talking about?
Right. So I'm going to talk on a general level now, because I'm assuming people from across different countries, continents might be listening to this.
Right.
But your general annual health check. Check your blood pressure regularly. Many of these things don't cost that much at all. A good BP monitor, I live in the UK, costs about 20, 30 pounds. And I'm talking of the ones that you can actually do yourself. So you can check your blood pressure maybe once every 3-4 months, just to know, especially if you know you have a family history of these things, because there are things in our genes, that make us more prone to having things. So for instance, the truth is that I, being a Black woman, if I'm the same weight as a Caucasian lady, I still have a higher risk of developing diabetes, of developing hypertension, of developing strokes, simply because of my Black African genes. So all I'm trying to say there is that, so what are we then doing to try and mitigate these risks? So check your blood pressure regularly. Little things like having your eyes checked. Glaucoma, which means high pressure at the back of the eyes, is one of the leading causes of blindness, particularly amongst Black people. Again, unfortunately, we Black people were more prone to having this. And just like high blood pressure that can, it can damage the eyes, can damage the heart vessels, can increase your risks of having stroke, can increase your risk of having a heart attack. The same thing goes with the glaucoma. It could damage the eyes irreversibly and make people blind without causing any symptoms. Right. So the big problem we have is these things are there grumbling in the background. They don't cause you any symptoms. You don't know you have those problems because you've not looked into them at all. So blood pressure check. I check at least once a year, once every 2 years. Every woman minimum, I think, should have a breast examination. You can check your breast yourself at home. They usually would advise checking that every month after your periods. But those who stopped having periods, just stand in front of a mirror and have a good feel. It's not uncommon that you can just find a lump, which can then be investigated and sorted out quickly.
Right.
And your mammograms. I mean, I know I live in an environment where that is checked regularly.
Right.
But yes, I don't know what the standard is, but I know for the UK, you get invited every few years to have that done. So check that out, because these things, if they're picked up early, they can be sorted. The same goes for the pap smear. We call it the cervical cytology here in the UK. Here in the UK, any woman aged 25 and above would be invited every three years. Right. Once you reach age 50, every 5 years, until you reach age 65, when they stop asking you to come for one. But the truth is, the cervical cytology is one investigation that has actually proven that if things are picked up early, we can drop the prevalence of cancer. Cancer of the cervix, since cervical screening has been put in place in the United Kingdom, has plummeted significantly, because what happens is the abnormal cells in the neck of the womb that would eventually become cancer, they're picked up on early and they're treated. So just these little things that can help your general health. And I don't know. I don't know whether you want to ask another question.
One thing I want to throw in is oral checks. We had Dr. Adeni, you talked to us about the connection between oral health and the overall health. And I was surprised to find out, Dr. Olarinde, that I was at the dentist the other day and she said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yes, I am." And she said, "Have you been grinding your teeth?" I said, "No." She said, "Your teeth are telling me that you're stressed."
Wow.
And I was like, "What? How? How did you know?" She said, "I'm trying to do this. Your teeth are telling me that you have been stressed." Well, I did go through a phase of stress, and I said to her, I said, "Well, that stress is over in my life now. I'm in a better place." She said, "Now you need to take care of your oral health because it impacts everything." I said, "I know." I had a doctor talk to us about oral health. So that's another thing we also need to check. Every 6 months, annually, as much as we can, we also need to make sure that our oral health is where it needs to be. Our time is up. Oh my goodness, I wish we could go on and on and on and on and on. But we've talked about a lot of things today. We've talked about our diet, we've talked about exercise, we've talked about making sure we get our annual checkups, making sure that we, get our pap smear, mammograms, all the things that we need to do to make sure that we're well. Above all, we need to keep moving. Wellness is a journey. And so if it's a journey, our movement is part of that journey, right? We cannot continue to sit. I love to sit and watch TV, I'm not going to lie, but also I get out. I get out. I go walking. Sometimes I do 3 miles. I signed up for weightlifting the other day.
Well
That's it's tough. It's tough. But it is listening to people like you talk about the wellness journey that has helped me to make these changes in my life. And, God placed a burden on my heart to share with other women the need to take a hold of themselves, of their health, and get to where they need to be because God never designed women to be sick. Too many women are in there. Too many women are in hospital. Too many women are taking care of everybody and not taking care of themselves. And by the time they start to take care of themselves, too late. But I pray that this will bless people and help them to make the changes that they need to make. Thank you so much, Dr. Olarinde. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure.
I know it was a whistle stop. But we touched on important things that would help us as modern day women to get on that journey and to stay on that journey, not give up, not stop, just keep going and keep going until we're where we need to be. It's been a pleasure having you. I pray that you'll be blessed and that God will enlarge your post. And as you continue to do your work, God will continue to give you more grace and more insight into everything that you're doing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's been my pleasure.
To all our listeners, we want to say thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. And we pray that God would minister to you through these videos. God bless you. See you next time. Bye.
So glad you joined us today. Please like, share, and click on the button to subscribe. God bless you.